The 40 Elephants, or 40 Thieves, were a 19th to 20th century all-female London crime syndicate who specialized in shoplifting. This girl gang was very good at avoiding the law and used sex and money to bribe plenty of police officers to look the other way. Hey everybody, and welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. This is Katie Weaver, and I'm here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Christy Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
It's okay. I've had a few days, if you guys were listening last week, you know that my wife Rhonda had to have gallbladder surgery. She had that on Friday. And so, we're just living in crazy land right now and trying to deal with it all. She had an impressively large gallbladder full of an impressive amount of stones.
Well,
Apparently, some of the nurses were getting their cell phones so they could take a picture because they'd never seen one that bad. I was
whoa.
like, wow, okay. Glad we did this then. Yeah.
No wonder she was in so much pain.
Yeah, it was actually quite a bit worse than the surgeon really realized.
Yeah.
They'd kind of blown her off at the ER earlier in the week, and they probably shouldn't have. But whatever, it's out now.
Don't listen to the patient. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out now, and she's healing. She's doing well. But people on pain meds are funny. And every once in a while she sort of startles, and then she'll say something weird, and I'm like, what? Or she'll be like, what was that noise?
Oh no, she's turning into John Pryor. She heard a noise in the corner.
Yeah, she did. Well, or she'll misinterpret what a noise is because she sort of comes in halfway through something happening. It's funny, but we're good. We're good.
Well, good. I'm glad she's hanging in there. That you are too.
She's
in the caregiver role.
We're gonna be all right. I ended up sleeping in the living room with her because trying to sleep in the bedroom, our dogs just could not deal with it. Like they could not figure out what in the hell was happening the first night. So last night I slept on the couch, and so did she. We just decided to both sleep out there, and then it was way better, and everyone was calm, and no one was freaking out. So,
oh, that's good. Good. Poor girls.
Yeah, it's been.
They don't know why mom's insane.
Yeah. No, they don't. They can't figure it out. But it's all good. It's gonna be fine.
Well, good. Well, it is our Monday case. And we're so excited to be kicking off the week.
We've got some doozies, and I know we say that sometimes, but I personally have prepared 5 cases for you guys. And you just wait, buckle up, hold on to your butts this week. That's all I'm saying.
100%. Yeah. So we're going to cover the 40 elephants today. And on top of that, we have 2 mini segments. So, Christy, I'm going to kick the mic over to you for some WTF crime.
Yes. WTF, you guys, if you're going to fake your death to avoid prosecution, you really need to pick up a subscription to Grammarly, because if not, you might really screw up. And that's what happened here to our Robert Berger, who decided, so he pled guilty to a bunch of charges, and he didn't really want to, serve any time. It was 2 different felonies, and he didn't really want to serve his time for those after he pled guilty. This is, okay. So just think about that for a moment. So it was possession of stolen property, because he stole a Lexus. Yeah, possession of stolen property. Yeah, a car would count.
Yeah.
So,
But why would you have to do time for that? I mean, really?
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah.
Then he also tried to steal a pickup because apparently the Lexus wasn't enough for him. So he pled guilty to both of these charges, right? This is prison time. So instead of serving prison, what he thought he would do is just fake his own suicide.
Oh, seems legit.
And yeah, right, as you do. So right before he was sentenced, someone from his attorney's office let the court know that he had died and asked that his stuff be, his charges be dismissed. So, and this, okay, his attorney turned in this death certificate because Robert's fiance had given it to him.
Oh, God.
P.S. Triple check everything. So he turned in a death certificate. I'm going to show it to you. It looks fairly legit. Except for the word registry is spelled wrong on it. And that seems like a rather key word in the registration of a death certificate. And that sort of set off some alarm bells for the prosecutor's office. And they did go to do a little research. And it turns out that Robert is alive and well and just really didn't want to go to prison.
Oh, Robert.
So, spell check, Grammarly, whatever you need to get. If you're going to be faking your own death, you better get it right on your death certificate. Anyway.
I think Robert and his attorney attended the Mark Mean School of Law.
I think so, because the attorney, I don't know. Maybe if your attorney's fiance says, "Hey, he died," maybe that's all you need. I don't know.
Fiance?
Maybe you should look it up. Just a thought.
There you go.
So that's a little tip for you if you're out there thinking about how to avoid doing the time for the crimes you have done.
Another thing you can try, and I've heard this works, is for the most part, not always, depends on who you are. Don't steal a Lexus.
Or a truck. Like, it's pretty simple. That might have been easier than faking your death certificate. He really did a pretty good job. It looked quite real. Except,
it looked pretty good, actually. Pretty official, yeah.
Yeah. But the devil's in the details,
Damn that registry. Yep.
Right. All right. Well, I'm going to kick it back over to you for our main case.
Okay. We've heard about all-girl gangs. We didn't know that the original all-girl gangs started in England in the 1870s.
Dude, I didn't, but I'm sort of fangirling this, which is probably wrong. I know they're criminals, but they probably had a legit reason for all of this.
Well, maybe.
Probably not.
Some of it. Well, there was a gang that was operating in London at the time, known as the Elephant and Castle Mob. And the Elephant and Castle Mob had female accomplices that would help them to accomplish, some of their dastardly deeds by using, their feminine wiles in various ways, or just, being pretty, somebody that you wouldn't suspect of being a part of their organization.
Sure.
But they got a little tired of, these guys getting these riches for their hard work, the Elephant and Castle Mob. So they really thought, perhaps what we should do is form our own gang and do better.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. So they did get some protection from the Elephant and Castle Mob to, to help them kind of operate and kind of they worked alongside of each other here and there. But for the most part, this was women earning their own money and keeping it in 1870.
I mean, I can't fault that. Their methods, maybe feel a little differently about that.
Yeah. So they were thieves. And they would steal in various ways. One of their more well-known ways of thievery was that in their beautiful Victorian gowns and finery, It was all made to order for them with lots and lots of pockets and secret compartments sewn in to their dresses, their hats, their handbags, their umbrellas, anything that they carried. Wow, wasn't exactly what it looked like.
Oh.
And many of them would converge on like a high-end store,
Mm-hmm.
and they would all steal so quickly and shove things into their little compartments and stuff in a way that they'd wander back out a lot of times before the clerks realized that they had been robbed.
Wow.
That's how they started. Now, they didn't wear their own shit. If you stole it, you can't have it. They would fence all of it.
Right.
But then they would use that money to legitimately buy all kinds of finery. They were pretty fancy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They loved to wear expensive clothes and go to fancy parties and they would wear gems and fashion items. So, they were living on the high life, but they had a very important rule about it. You never wore what was stolen.
Right. I mean, it would give you away.
Yep. So the person who started this gang's name was Mary Carr. So she kind of got them going. And in order to join them, this was really by invitation only, but they would seek out women that were well known to be excellent thieves and shoplifters and things, and sometimes invite them to be a part of their gang. Uh,
Wow.
but they also would elevate women out of bad situations. In some ways, I'd like to consider them a part of the women's suffrage movement, and that
Well, I mean, everything needs to be equal, even organized crime, I guess.
I guess. But they did help to elevate women out of poverty and into a higher station, which is, you know, interesting at any rate.
Mm-hmm.
But they were thieves. The second woman to be in charge of the gang was a woman named Alice Diamond. And Alice Diamond also had been a shoplifter since childhood and was invited to join this gang after she had been arrested, for theft for the first time when she was 17.
Mm-hmm.
She wore diamonds on all of her fingers, big ones, like brass knuckles. And she would
Wow.
use them on you if she needed to. She was
Dude.
5'9", big, tall woman. She
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful, strong, and, she would go ahead and knock you out with her diamonds if she needed to.
Wow.
Hmm.
Didn't that kind of give her away, though, wearing all those diamonds?
I don't know. You'd think so. They'd gotten a lot more media attention by this time. This was around 1917. And so she started splitting them into separate cells so they weren't all operating together. And when they did that, they started planning simultaneous robberies throughout the city because the police couldn't possibly attend to all of them at the same time. And that would cause a real
Um,
problem for them being able to catch them.
sure.
So she had a code of conduct. They were operated in a democratic manner. They had rules about the division of money from the jobs, an expectation for the gang to care for the families of an imprisoned thief. So if you got caught
Mm.
and went to jail, they would take care of your family until you got out. Women must always provide alibis for each other. And she expected absolute fealty that was punishable by ridicule or beating when disobeyed.
Ridicule, huh?
Hmm.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't want to know what that looks
I
like,
mean, this
but
seems like kind of a catty lady gang. Yes.
would you like the ridicule or the beating? I'll take the beating.
Right. I can't take the ridicule again.
Hmm. Absolutely forbidding theft of money or boyfriends among members, which also could lead to serious punishment.
Okay.
Hmm. So
Bet.
everybody got money from all of their heists, but they also had a shared treasury,
Mm.
and they used that to assist members that were in trouble, pay for lawyers, and to fund their extravagant lifestyles.
Wow.
Membership in this gang was akin to being a part of a union with unusually fair benefits for all. Now, doesn't this sound like a gang ran by women?
Yes, it does. That's what I was like, this is what we want with a female president of the United States, kinda same
Right?
idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
There should be
Except for the
equity for
ridicule or
everyone.
beating part.
Yes, well, you're always gonna get the ridicule part, but yeah, maybe not the beating part.
hmm Now, they didn't just steal, they also extorted, blackmailed, tricked. They would put women into homes that were like wealthy homes that were looking for things like nannies and housekeepers that would either seduce the male of the home and then blackmail the hell out of him, or just work there for a couple of weeks learning how the household worked so that they could come in and rob the hell out of them. So, they weren't just, petty shoplifters. They were so much more.
It seems as though they were. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Now, why were they called the 40 elephants?
Well, because I don't know about the 40 part, but the 40 elephants had to do with the Elephant and Castle mob.
Okay, so they were
It
like the
was a
elephant
spinoff.
arm of that. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I was never sure where the 40 part came from. I tried to find this. But Diamond got really fixated on controlling the gang. She was really, really, controlling. And the Hoisters Code had forbade them from doing anything against her wishes, including marrying men she didn't approve of.
Oh,
Well, guess what?
that happened.
You know how this shit goes down.
Yeah.
Somebody defied her in 1925, and the gang attacked the newlyweds so badly that it was known as the Lambeth Riot. And for her role as instigator, Diamond went to prison for 18 months.
Oh, wow.
So by the time she got out, there was a new bitch in town, Shirley Pitts. And she acknowledged she was the acknowledged queen of the gang until the 1960s.
Wow.
So they started dwindling, as law enforcement got more wise to them and as the world changed, they started dwindling. They weren't nearly as prolific as they were in the late 1800s up until like 1930.
Mhm.
But they actually did not disband officially until 1992 when Pitts died.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Pretty wild.
I could have
Yeah.
joined.
It is the longest lasting criminal organization in English history. Not surprising. I mean, they were quite organized and they had good rules and
Mhm.
they had a
Benefits were good.
sisterhood.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, good bennies. I mean, what are you going to do with that? Yeah. Now, Diamond, once she got out of prison, she took on a new career managing a brothel and mentoring young thieves. So she did have some association with her old gang. She just wasn't in charge of them anymore.
Wow.
Isn't that
Honestly,
something?
this sounds like a group of lesbians to me.
Right?
Nobody ever really fully breaks up. That's how that works.
Right? Yeah. So here, this is a picture of the three leaders of this gang. Well, maybe it'll upload at some point or it won't. There we go. All right.
Oh, wow.
So Pitts is on the right. We have Diamond in the middle, and then the car on the left. But
Wow.
this is the three of them that managed to keep a girl gang going for an extremely long time.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah.
very interesting. I know that I shouldn't admire a criminal enterprise, but I sort of do.
They're kind of admirable. Well, but they did help a lot of women out of poverty and out
Mhm.
of really bad situations. And, you know, it wasn't all bad. I'll say that. In a time where women really didn't have much of an opportunity to own anything, you know.
Right. Right. I mean, it was a way
One of the things
when
they did is they started using cars in their heists earlier than most everybody else. And
Mm.
they kind of, started the car heist business. And having
Wow.
getaway cars waiting and things like that. And some of the police that were constantly pursuing them and getting stumped by them, partly because some of the police were on the take. They had no problem using money and sex to have some police officers under their control, and
Mm.
blackmail, of course. But one of the things that they were famous for was committing a heist and getting in a car and driving away. And sometime between the time that they got in the car and left and the time that the police pulled them over, managed to pass off all of the wares to someone else. So there was no proof of their crime. And
Wow.
it always puzzled and stumped the police because they either were managing to slip all of their stuff to someone else, or there were hidden compartments in the car that they weren't able to find, which could have been
Ah.
because they were really good at that. So anyway, pretty interesting. There is a movie called 40 Elephants, and lots of stuff that have been published about this. Though it's fairly new information, unless you're English and maybe you've heard of them before. But here in the
Mm-hmm.
States, we really hadn't heard of the 40 Elephants until not too long ago. So
Yeah.
pretty interesting stuff.
Wow. Very
Yeah.
much. I
Well,
like it.
Christy, I am going to kick the mic back over to you for some WTF news. No, I
Well,
think
this
this is creepy crime.
this is weird crime
Oh,
time,
for
but yeah,
Christ's sake.
it's
Okay,
weird
fine.
crime time.
Okay.
Let's talk about Justin Rogers, or as I like to call him, Melonhead. Here we have Justin and his dumb friend
Yes.
wandering around a grocery store wearing watermelons that they have hollowed out as masks. And they are telling the grocery store staff that these are their coronavirus masks. So they're just wandering around the grocery store being stupid, right? You think,
Mhm.
okay, just dumb kids having fun, whatever. Well, here's a huge mistake that can be made when doing such a thing. When you've been wandering around town in the grocery stores wearing these masks, it's
Mhm.
probably best not to then rob a liquor store wearing the same melon head masks the same
Oh,
day.
no.
Yeah. So, as soon as like the pictures were out, oh, they also made some TikTok videos of themselves in these.
You know they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
because why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you go grocery shopping and make TikToks of yourself and your dumb friend wearing melons on your head as masks, and then that night go rob a liquor store? So let's just say that they were caught very quickly. They were caught melon headed.
What the hell? Geniuses,
Right?
I tell you. All right. Well, gosh.
I don't even know what else to say about that.
The thought of wearing that, I mean, that is so gross to me. I can't even. The
Wet
thought of
and
this
sticky.
warm, wet, yeah, that's your coronavirus mask, all right. With
Yeah,
hair in it. Good
I know.
Lord.
It's super gross. But like, you stand out like a sore thumb in that. So then
Or
you go commit a crime wearing it? Like,
a sore melon, if you will.
yes, a sore melon. Um, didn't take the police long to locate these geniuses, so
Wow. Well, I
yeah.
mean, making everybody's day easier, I guess.
It was not a difficult crime to solve.
No. Well, good job, I guess. All righty. Well, this is Monday, so we will be back on Tuesday and Wednesday with full episodes, and then Christy will be back Wednesday night and Thursday night for case updates and the psychic hour. Lots going on in the crime world this week, per normal these days. So look alive, I guess. Stay alive. Good to be here with you all. You guys, please take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. You have been listening to another episode of True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. Take care.
Bye, everybody.